This is a video response to Chronically Kyli on what's happened to our healthcare system, I think is what it's called. It was done in 2010, but things have only seemed to gotten worse. I know what a lot of you go through. I went through the same thing and still do at times. That's why I won't go to the ER. I've been told by my doctor to go, and when I have an attack, which is shortness of breath and dizziness and such, but I won't go because of the simple fact that 99% of them in the hospital don't even know what dysautonomia is. In fact, I remember when I moved, out to California. I was there for about 7 months. Went into the ER a couple times with chest pains and such, and I think they sent me home the first time. Well, then I got a cardiologist appointment, and on the very first visit, after years and years of suffering, and doctors, just like they do so many people, saying that it was just my depression and anxiety disorder. All right, yes, I do have this, but due to my dysautonomia. It's not the depression that's causing my problems. Well, saw this cardiologist. He thoroughly examined me, listened to my heart, interviewed me. I was interviewed by him, a nurse practitioner who specializes in cardiology, a student doctor, an intern. And like I said, the doctor himself examined me thoroughly and said very little during examination. And all he said when he sat back down was, very interesting. And I didn't know what he meant by that, and I actually didn't even ask him. And I don't know why I didn't, but anyway, we got through talking. I got dressed and went down to the receptionist's desk, and I pulled out his paper, and on top it says, well, DX for diagnosis, and it said dysautonomia. Well, it was a bittersweet moment where, yes, I have dysautonomia. Not looking, not glad I have dysautonomia, but happy in a way that it was finally diagnosed what my problem was, because my doctors back here in Oneonta were doing their best. I will say that, except for one who actually laughed at me when I asked him if there was a correlation between the autonomic nervous system and the heart. He just laughed at me, which, needless to say, was the last time I ever saw him. Well, anyway, I was treated while I was in the hospital, I believe, 3 times when I was there. And through the grace of God, they found a blockage in one of my arteries and diagnosed me with coronary artery disease plus severe mitral valve prolapse and dysautonomia. But another thing is I passed out after about 2 minutes on the treadmill. I actually passed out. They had to catch me and throw me, well, not throw me, but put me up on the gurney and stabilize me because I couldn't breathe. And finally got me stable enough to go back and finish up the nuclear testing. at which point they found a blockage. They took me back to my room and told me that they had found this and that the next morning they were going to, no, I had refused to have it. Well, I'd went home. My friend, who was the doctor, called me and said, "You have got to get to the hospital. You can't let this go." So I did. And the very next morning they did the angiogram. Put me in, well, they put me in late and without eating and with the stress of waiting. I was scheduled for 10:30, I think it was, and I never got, it was 12:30, 1 o'clock, and they still hadn't got me in. And I told them, I says, I can't do this. I got a migraine. I need food. So anyway, they took me in, discovered, next time they did it early in the morning, discovered the blockage, and through the prayers of my relatives and many friends, when they went in to remove the blockage, it wasn't there. So I know what it's like to go through, having doctors tell you, there's nothing wrong with you and such. And I had one just, about a year ago tell me this. I was told by a doctor on YouTube that it sounded like I had some type of mast cell disorder. So I wrote the doctor a journal of how I felt, which I do for my other doctors, and they love it. They encourage it. I wrote this to her, and she walked in. She was very angry, asking me why I had written such a thing. And I told her just to try to speed up the diagnostic, procedure she had to do, and that would save her some time. No, she wasn't convinced. She wasn't going to be told by some layperson that, well, she didn't say it, but I know that's what she was thinking, that, I didn't have any of this. Well, needless to say, I'm not seeing her anymore. I'm honestly not seeing any of my specialists anymore except for my neurologist. I'm so fed up. I just take and go online. I am taking medications. I have to see my regular doctor, but she's now going to see if she can get me what they call palliative care. It's a home health care, only with added, you have a doctor involved, you have an RN involved, home health care professionals, spiritual help, and such like that. So I think probably that's going to be my next step, because I can't have surgery to correct my mitral valve. I'm too weak. I was told this by a cardiothoracic surgeon. And but anyway, I understand what it's like and the frustration you go through. I still go through it. And just want you to know that you just have to keep going from doctor to doctor until you find the right one. Unfortunately. If they haven't seen it, it doesn't occur. So they did that with my mother the other day. So the doctor says, I never heard of that. Well, if it had been me, I'd have said, well, you have now. And, but anyway, I just wanted to say that I know how many people feel, and I hope that things get straightened out here in the public and the medical profession finally recognize dysautonomia as an actual illness. Okay, everybody, I hope you do well. My prayers are with everybody, and God bless. Okay, bye.